Play in the Soviet zone. The Soviets move it up to the line. McGillney runs into a check, but it's brought out by Gordiuk, and it's fired down the ice, and going back after it is Pavel Bure. He's the speedy 17-year-old. For McGillney, a quick shot. And Panafalenkov has the puck for the Soviet Union. He was looking for Saipikov, intercepted by McIntyre in across the line. He takes a hit, and the loose puck is brought back by the Soviets. Maikovsky. Leach lost it along the boards, and the Soviets start back. And Palenkov losing it. Here's Kristich going in. He scores! Picked up there by Udine. He clears the zone. Savage brings it back in, but he did it with a player trapped inside the line. On that offside call, Gomolyako stepped into Jelena, and he is going to draw a penalty. You'll see the hit along the boards. It was whistled down on the offside, and it's a high sticking call as Gomolyako got his stick up into the face of Martin Jelena. And Ivashkin had to react quickly. Here's Bure dropping it off for McGillney. Puts on the brakes. Looking into the slot area for Fedorov. Penalty coming up here against Canada as Bure goes back of the net, trying to center it. And as Bure is sent flying and Facette clears it to the corner, the whistle goes, and the Soviets will go to the power play. Picked up in the corner now to Shannon. Shannon back at the point. Smith dumps it into the corner. Racine coming out there at the point. A shot, they score! As Cassos picked the top corner.
We've talked so much about this great line of the Soviets. We've seen the Canadians move the puck well, handle the puck, get on the puck, and of course, what can you say about this guy here? I mean, Facette. I mean, whatever we've said, we haven't said enough, and we seem like we've been talking about him all the time. And I'm happy to see it. He wanted to be here. He's come in here, and if he doesn't make the All-Star team, well, hey, I've been watching the wrong hockey.
Desjardins plays it ahead. Here's a shot by Leach. He scored! Now this is going to produce an argument. I thought I saw the green light before the red light.
I was sure I saw. We're going to have to look at this, and he should be consulting. There's no question there should be consultation here. That's one of the things I was upset before.
I thought I saw the green light before the red.
Here we are back into a dispute, and who's on the ice again with the Soviets? We've got, he's ruled a no goal. There's no question he's ruled a no goal. But I'll tell you, we got to get a look at this, and I think you're right. Now, the shot that it's taken, a good shot inside the blue line. We take a look. The green light is definitely still on. There's no question about it. There's no red light. That green light is on.
There's no question about that. The green light definitely was on before the red came on. There is that delay before the red light will come on once the green goes on to signal the end of the period. And while the Canadian team protested mildly, it did not last very long. So the score remains tied after 20 minutes. Canada won and the Soviet Union won. We'll return after this. And Murphy plays it around on the boards for Bryn Damour, who gets it out into the neutral zone. Fedorov, rink wide for McGillney. McGillney with a shot, he scores!
Wow, there were two hits on that ice. One with that shot, and then he got decked by the defenseman with the shot, but it was quite a shot, I'll tell you that. He's getting himself up. He's had that bad knee, and we don't know if we can get a look at McGillney right there where it's, I don't know if he just had the wind knocked out of him and his knee is all right. But we'll see when he comes in, he's met straight up right here, and that is a terrific hit. But he's up again. Watch him come across there. What a terrific clean hit, but the puck went between his legs, and it's 2-1. He's done the rest of the team really isn't concerned about him right now. They're just happy to be ahead 2-1, Don.
2-1 is the score. McGillney letting the shot go just as he was decked by Rod Bryn Damour.
It was interesting. McGillney was so highly discussed and talked about before the tournament, but he got hurt. Just like Jelena got hurt early, he got hurt. We really haven't seen him until today play like he's playing. in this first period and the part of the second.
I think he saves himself for the key games because he was hurt in the first game of the tournament. The word we got was that he had a broken ankle, a broken leg. He had ripped up his knee. There were a variety of reports. And wouldn't you know it, he shows up for the next Soviet game. Then he was injured in that game, had to be carried off the ice. It looked as though he wouldn't play again, but he is flying out there tonight for the Soviet Union. And that goal coming just 20 seconds into the period with Fedorov drawing the assist, and it's 2-1. Semeta takes a hit from Kristich, manages to get the puck back over to Smith. Smith, an Edmonton Oiler draft choice. Dumping it in. Zubov plays it around on the boards for Kristich. He gets away from a check, in across the line, takes a shot, saved by Facette. Loose puck in front of the net, Sidorov scores!
You're going to see Ricci go over to the corner because he went after the puck before the whistle and gets a little bit of a shot right there. And now there's going to be some crowding around. If it was good old North American hockey, we'd have a delay for 3 or 4 minutes because some people would be grabbing each other. You can be sure of that.
But one of the rules I'd like to see them correct in international hockey is the goaltender freezing the puck, coming out of his net to freeze the puck. They'll go into the corner on occasion to grab that puck. McGillney, excellent move! He scores! Oh, what a beautiful move by McGillney. We said at the start of the game, this young man, the most talked about performer here, evidence there of why we spoke that way. And dumps it back into the Soviet zone, but this will be an icing call as it's touched by Sorokin. And Sorokin takes a hit in behind the net from Darcy Lowen. Now it's Sorokin. Long lead pass for Bure. Fedorov going for the net. There's the shot. And Fedorov deflected it wide. McGillney to Fedorov. Fedorov back to McGillney. Scores! Ivanov gets away from Castles. Comes in across the line. Loses his stick and then is stepped into by McIntyre. Back to the line, in front of the net. They score! Okusta! Gus Morschauser of the Kitchener Rangers is going to replace Stéphane Facette in goal for the Canadian team. But you can't blame Facette. The #2 choice of the Quebec Nordique in the 1988 amateur draft was bombarded in the first period, and he has had Soviet players all over him here in the second as well.
Well, absolutely not. You can see what a competitor that kid is.
Play just underway. Gomolyako in his own zone. Back of the net for Sorokin. Up into the center ice area, and what a hit there as the Soviet player was decked by John McIntyre. He caught him with a hip. And really sent him flying. Watch as the Soviet player, Melikin, is sent flying.
Well, there's no question he's hit there. I mean, that kid is hurt. He's down the ice because he's hurt. He's not moving anything at all. I don't know what they're checking here. They seem to be, all of a sudden he's getting up.
Well, McIntyre came across with a good, clean body check.
They were right. They went to the referee right away when a guy gets hurt. They wanted another power play opportunity. And he seems to be favoring the leg all right when he gets up. Well, we get it. He gets that right across the hip and above the knee and really tangles him. You can be sure of that. And that seems to be what he's favoring, as a matter of fact, when he picked his legs up there when he comes off.
Jeff Smith with a shot right on. Ivashkin makes the save. Canada applying some pressure. Cement out front, they score! Ricci knocks it in.
Everything's done instinctively here, and the secret of this game is to do things right more often than the other team. And of course, our good camera people, give them credit. Well, he got him, and the referee's right there to see it.
Bure comes wheeling out of his zone, gets away from Ricci. Bure can really fly, goes back of the net to McGillney. Back to Bure. McGillney at the side of the circle, back to the line. Godinuk over to the other side for Sorokin. Off the boards for McGillney. Back to the point to Godinuk. He takes a shot, deflected, score! Kennedy goes into the corner with Zubov. Pass cross ice for Desjardins as he had moved in from the point, but he couldn't reach it. And again, the Canadian team is called in the offside with 1:24 remaining in the penalty.
Well, as we said earlier, we noticed them. The Soviets on the puck. They're very, very aggressive. They're not going to sit back and let you set.
McIntyre gets it back to the line. Lambert lets a shot go. It's blocked by the Soviet player Panfilenkov, and he bangs it out into the neutral zone, and we've got a penalty coming up here. A slashing call. The end result was that Norway remains in A pool, and West Germany is relegated to B pool. And that's the end of the hockey game. Sidorov picks up the puck, and the Soviet team moves out to celebrate, throwing sticks and gloves high into the air, as the Soviet Union was deprived of a gold medal last year on home ice when the tournament was held in Moscow. And they come through here in Anchorage, Alaska, defeating Canada by a score of 7-2 to capture the gold medal. The Soviets with just one blemish on their record. That was a 5-3 setback to Czechoslovakia. And Robert Chernikov, the Soviet coach, is lifted high into the air by his jubilant players. The Soviet Union, for the 8th time, World Junior Hockey Champions.